Hi guys, today I'm going to talk to you guys about how I've learnt to spend less money daily whilst I've been doing the no spend challenge for the last month. So the first way to spend less money on your daily basis is centred around food. Plan your meals. This can be a big game changer if you plan meals. I am still not awesome at doing this, but I have definitely been more conscious about planning evening meals and making sure I only shop for the ingredients that I need when I'm cooking certain dishes and not shop for extra stuff. Home cooking is a big way to save money. Eating out, getting takeaways, even buying like pre-packaged food can be a big spender. So if you want to try and save money, then try home cooking. Along these lines as well, I would also say make sure you eat your leftovers. Don't just chuck away food, even if it seems like quite a small portion that you kind of think, well, we're not going to use it. Just put it in a plastic box, plastic container of some sort, or glass container if you've got them. Pop it in the fridge, and if you're feeling peckish the next day, eat that. Eat what you cooked the night before or have it for lunch. We tend to try and do this now. I make sure that anything that's left over goes in the fridge, even if it's not like a full portion of something. Either I will have it alongside something for lunch the next day, or the baby has it. The only way it doesn't get eaten by one of us three at the moment is if it's been in there for a few days, this person eats it instead. He loves any leftovers. So I found we're not wasting a lot of food these days. Very little actual food goes in our bins. So our next tip is to not buy snacks and bottled drinks when you're out and about. I was very guilty of this when I used to be out and about with Ellia, and if we were running lots of errands, I would quite often pick up bottles of pop or worse still, bottles of water. I think that's such a bad thing these days. Bottles of water, bottles of pop, or snacks for one of us, or a sandwich on the go. I was very guilty of that before I started the no spend last month. Since then, I have pretty much cut it out completely. I think there's probably been 2 occasions in the entire month where I've had to, or I've picked up a bottle of pop. For the entire month we've been really careful, we've not done it. So now I was looking for my water bottle then. I take my water bottle everywhere with me. The girls down in Toots are very used to me having it down there now. They don't even bat an eyelid down there. I take my bottle of water. Sometimes it's water, sometimes it's squash, sometimes it's flavoured water. I take that everywhere, and I make sure that I pack snacks for Elliot in my bag every day. So there'll be probably a piece of fruit, a small container of cut up grapes or blueberries, and then some sort of non-fruit based snack, usually like yogurt covered raisins, or occasionally like organics crisps or organics biscuits, or any sort of like little snack like that. You will find that if you have a little one, this could save you a fair bit if you're not buying stuff when you're out and about. Tip number 3 is to do with kind of like transport and driving. So what I've been trying to do this month is, instead of nipping out to the shops when I realise I need one thing or to do one errand, I've been trying to combine my errands into one day or one afternoon. So if I just need one item for the shop, I probably won't go and get it straight away unless I'm really desperate for it, like milk. If it's just something I need, I will make sure I write it on a list, and I will try and wait until there are a few different items I need, or there are a few errands that I need to run all in one day. That way I tend to save some money on petrol because I'm not going out and coming back constantly. I also try to drive to somewhere where I'm able to get a multitude of things in one go. So there are a number of like little industrial pockets in our area. So there's like one in Port Talbot and there's one in Llansamlet, and I usually decide to choose one where I know I can get the most amount of stuff in one go, so I don't have to drive to somewhere else, because you are saving money on your petrol overall by doing that. Also along those lines, try to walk where you can. If you really don't need to take your car, then don't. Decide to walk. We had glorious weather for about 4 days here, and I was trying to up my walking, thanks to the old Fitbit. I was trying to up my walking that week and try and get out as much as I could, seeing as the weather was so good. I actually chose to walk to a supermarket that isn't particularly close to my house. I put Elliot in the buggy and I set off and I walked, and it took me about 50 minutes to walk there. I did my shop that I needed. It wasn't an excessive amount of stuff because I only had the buggy and my backpack. But it was like, it was to the local Lidl. So it was like all sorts of like fresh fruit and vegetables and some meat and a few things that I'd get specifically from Lidl's. Packed it all into my backpack and then I walked back. I saved myself the petrol and I got myself the exercise, which was really, really good. So definitely try and get out and about more on foot if you can. Obviously, this isn't always an option, especially when you have kids. It's not always easy to get out and about on foot. If you can do it, go for it. The next tip is to learn to be more conscious of your energy usage. Now, we're a high energy usage household purely because we run computers a lot because of what we do. We charge a lot of batteries. So there is like constantly batteries on charge for different pieces of equipment. We power equipment in the studio. So there is a lot of energy usage going on. But over the last month, we have tried to be more conscious about turning off lights and switching off power to things which isn't needed. Now, putting things on standby doesn't always cost a lot of money. I know people say you should always switch stuff off at the plug and all that kind of stuff. But actually, as long as you make sure it's off most of the time, even if it's on standby, it's not actually costing that much money in the big scheme of things. John did some calculations, kind of, I don't remember the figures, about how much it kind of cost to leave the TV on standby for an entire month, and it was pennies. It was really surprising. And people go on about turning it off at the plug. But we are still being very conscious of making sure that stuff is turned off when it's not needed. If it doesn't need to be on, then don't leave it on. We also have our plugs, our lamps downstairs are all on the Google Plug Home system. So it is so easy to turn them off.
But it either isn't available or can't be played at the moment.
Clearly it just heard me saying its name and it's gone off. So yeah, it's so easy just to tell it to turn the stuff off, and it turns it off from the plug. It's off, done, gone. So that's really good. So yeah, just be more conscious of your energy usage. Kind of tied into that, also switch suppliers, guys. If you need to switch suppliers, then just do it. We switched our supplier this week. We had been with, oh heck, British Gas. We've been with British Gas for our electricity and our gas usage since we moved in, simply because at the time they were the best suppliers and they did provide the lowest rate. But we have just switched to, I think it's called Bulb. I'll have to check with John. I think it's called Bulb we've just switched to. They are a renewable energy source, which is a big thumbs up in our book. But they are also, it works out as cheaper than British Gas overall to switch over. So we have done that now. We have switched over to Bulb. So do shop around and look for cheaper energy suppliers. I am not being sponsored to say that by anyone at all. So please just go look. I know it seems like such a faff to change energy suppliers or your bank and all that kind of stuff. But if you could be saving money in the long run, then change it. Change it yearly if you need be to keep moving and get you the best offer you can. My last tip actually is to challenge yourself to not spend any money. I tell you what, this has been an awesome incentive for us. Honestly, this whole no spend month has been the best incentive to try not to spend money. So even if you decide just to try and have a no spend day, to have X amount of days each week where you don't spend any money, if you can really challenge yourself, you will find yourself being far more conscious about what you spend money on. And dare I say it, you being far more tight about where you spend your money. So have those days where you go, I'm not going to spend any money today, and I'm going to make an effort to make my lunch to take to work. And I'm not going to go out shopping when I usually would on this Saturday because I don't need anything. So challenge yourself. Challenge yourself not to spend money on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, or go for the whole hog and go for a no spend month. because it is kind of eye-opening when you realise where your money's being spent. It is surprising. And the food bill definitely was one of our biggest spends, but also those little trips out I took with Alian simply to get out of the house some days have been where I've spent more money, simply picking up snacks and little bits and stuff and things that I really don't need. I've stopped that all. It's all stopped. So I only go out now if I really, really need something, or if it's very specific of something that I want or need for the, usually to do stuff with Elian. So like going out specifically to get the craft stuff to make his Easter cards or his sensory tub. I've gone out, I've had a list, and I've only bought what's on that list. I've not spent anything else. And I've tried to find the cheapest ways of doing things. So yeah, that's kind of like the ways that we've learned to not spend money over the last month. I'm sure there are a million other ways, so please leave some ideas in the comments if you've got specific ways where on a daily basis you have things you do that stop you spending money or help you spend less money even. If there's just ways to spend less money overall, please leave them in the comments because I would like to know about them. Anything that can help a little bit. So I'm going to also try and do a video coming up on ways to make money. Because a few of you guys seemed interested in me doing a video on side hustles, how me and John have made extra money online mostly, sometimes in the real world, mostly online over the past few years. We have always aimed to make more money in other ways. So a few of you are interested in me doing some side hustle videos. So hopefully I will do that one this week now for you guys. It's going to be up next week probably. I will put that one together so you guys can kind of have an idea of how to make more money rather than just not spend as much. I'm also thinking about doing a savings tip. So kind of ways to encourage yourself to save more money or tips and tricks to help save more money specifically. If that is something you're interested in, let me know and I will also start working on that for you guys. Honestly, if there is any videos that you would be interested in me making, then let me know because I'm up for trying anything, trying out new stuff if you guys would like me to try out new stuff, or researching something or putting together videos about certain topics. Just kind of leave me a comment, give me some ideas and I will see what I can do. So that is all for today guys. Give this a thumbs up if you liked it, please. These thumbs up go a long way in helping this video reach other people, so I would really love a thumbs up. Hit subscribe and join our Life Sorted community. We are growing fast and I love it. I love that there are so many people interested in similar topics, and I love when you guys leave some comments, talk to me, tell me what you think, even if it's not something specifically in line with what I'm talking about or whether you have a different take on something to me. I honestly don't mind. I would rather you guys talk, have conversations with me, discussions, healthy discussions, no swearing please people, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.